Hey everyone, welcome to XubeeTV, where we bring you interviews and live performances from some of the best undiscovered talent in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm Irma Laxamana, your host, and today we're excited to bring you the Bay Area's very own talented singer and songwriter, Hannah Saldana. Born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area, Hannah found a love for music at an early age. For as long as she can remember, music has always been a part of her life. She grew up in a house filled with music, and she remembers her dad playing everything from rock and roll to rap, and she loved every bit of it. Hannah is a self-taught musician, and when she realized that she had found a love for playing, singing, and composing music, she took it into her own hands and decided to spend her own time teaching herself to play guitar and honing her musical skills. Among her influences, she mentions artists such as Adele, John Mayer, Colby Calais, Incubus, and Flyleaf. Hannah says that when she writes music, she aims to compose lyrics that come from the heart and that draws out music to reflect her own personal experiences, with the hope, she says, that her audiences will really relate to the songs that she sings to them. So Hannah, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you here.
It's good to be here.
So as you know, we kind of focus on the best new up-and-coming talent in the Bay Area. So why don't you tell us where in the Bay Area you're from? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Daly City, First Avenue.
I know exactly where it is. I grew up in the Bay Area too, so a native as well. I was reading a little bit about your background, and it sounds like you grew up in a house that was filled with music. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? And, were there other musicians in your family, or what really sparked that interest for you?
I actually, on Saturday and Sunday mornings, it was like family time, and it's kind of, we'd wake up late in the afternoon, but I'd always wake up to my dad playing music from all sorts of artists. I still don't even know their names today, but he'd just play all this music, and I'd catch myself in the middle of the day humming a song that I heard on that weekend. And, I'd be like, Dad, what's that song that you played yesterday? And then I'd start singing it, and I just started humming it all the time. So, one of the things that I really liked learning about you is that you're kind of this self-taught musician, and that, you found an interest in music, and then you spent the time and you dedicated the time to really learning, your art yourself, right? I think there's a lot of ways people can kind of develop their musical skills. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you, when you picked up the guitar for the first time, and how you dedicated yourself to kind of really learning music?
Well, when we first bought the guitar, it wasn't for me. It was for my sister. She was really into this one artist, and her name was Michelle Branch. And my sister was really determined, to play those songs and stuff, but she just didn't pick it up. So I picked it up naturally, and I just started strumming on it. Even if it was just noise, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I was like, this is a nice sound. I really like it. And I started playing like stuff I just made up. I would sing about like food or, going to sleep all the time.
So the very first song that you played on the guitar was?
A song I actually made up. And it was about me, and like I was just like, I pretended that I was like flying and that I was gonna like save the world one day, but I sang it in lyrics. So, I was hoping that people would understand, like, oh, she's like Supergirl.
So your first song was an original composition.
Yes, when
very
I was 6.
Impressive.
When I was 6.
So I was reading also a little bit about your musical influences, and some of the people you mentioned were John Mayer and Adele, Colby Calais I saw on there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, the kinds of artists that you're interested in and what draws you to them?
All 3 of those artists they really, really interest me, because I feel like I can relate to them in a way in which they sing about experiences that they've been through. And when I compose my own lyrics, I try to sing about things that I've been through. So basically when I'm composing my lyrics, it's basically like pages from my own diary that I'm singing to the world. And I hope that, people can relate to it and say, I've been through that experience and I understand what she's saying. And I hope that, they can just take that and really like think of me as like an artist like they would think of John Mayer and Colby Calais and Adele.
So what we want to do now is take a quick look at something you recorded here at the Xubee Studios a little while back. It's an original song by Hannah titled You.
Hi, my name is Hannah Saldana, and this is an original song I wrote called You.
It's been a while since we last talked, holding on to memories 'cause I need to take a walk. It happens every time that you're near, afraid to fall in love. Now that's my fear, 'cause I want you. Yet this feeling feels so wrong. I need you. I wish I never tried to move on, 'cause you've got some kind of hold, and I can't seem to let go, 'cause this life is getting old and my soul is slowly dying. Understand me, this is crazy. I've got to let you go. No, no, no. Ooh. I want you. 'Cause this feeling feels so wrong. I need you. I wish I never tried to move on, 'cause you've got some kind of hold, and I can't seem to let go, 'cause this life is getting old and my soul is slowly dying. When I hold him and I kiss him and it's still not you I'm loving. Understand me, this is crazy. I've got to let you go. Go. No, no. Go. No, 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 no. Ooh. Ooh. I want you. This feeling feels so wrong. I need you. Oh, I just can't move on.
Welcome back to XubeeTV. Today we're here with Hannah Saldana. And so Hannah, why don't you tell us a little bit about performing in front of a live audience? What are some of the places you've performed and how do you feel about kind of being on stage?
Being on stage is always very nerve-wracking for me at first. I think a lot of musicians still get nervous. You're performing in front of people you don't even know. Some places that I performed at where I performed at my first talent show actually, and I hosted it for my high school. I performed at a lot of cotillions this year, which I've never done before. It was really, really nerve-wracking because it's friends' families that you're singing for.
Right.
And I actually did my first wedding this year. I sang songs that the bride wanted, and I played my guitar, and I also sang to some instrumental stuff.
So have you been working on new songs? Do you have an album coming out? What should we be looking out for as far as new work from Hannah?
There is an album in pre-production right now. We're working on some songs, and they should come out later on this year or early next year.
And are you excited to kind of get that out to a wide audience, have people really hear your stuff?
I am excited because I feel like I have a lot to say, and I want my lyrics to really speak to people.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of thoughts on what it's like to break into the music industry kind of as a young new artist and then a Filipino-American artist at that?
It is hard, but you never give up on your dreams, and music's something that I've always I could turn to, and it was always there for me. So when it comes to music, I'm really excited about it, and being so young, I still feel like I have a lot to learn about music too.
One of the things we like to do here at Xubee is give people a chance to really hear what an artist can do in a live performance. And so if you would, we'd love to have you do something here for us live today.
Definitely.
So here today we have Hannah performing live one of her latest compositions, Saying Goodbye.
It's a sad, sad story, knowing I never said goodbye. It's a sad, sad story, never knowing the reasons why you had to go and leave me all alone. When I was just about to call you on the telephone, so that I can tell you how much I really love you, so that I can tell you how much I really need you, so that I can tell you how much I really want you. It's a sad, sad story, knowing that things were left unsaid. It's a sad, sad story, knowing I'll never get ahead. When you sit and wonder and ask yourself why, and then something inside of you starts to die. It's a sad, sad story, knowing I never said goodbye. It's a sad, sad story, never knowing the reasons why you had to go and leave me all alone. When I was just about to call you on the telephone, so that I can tell you how much I really love you, so that I can tell you how much I really need you, so that I can tell you how much that I really want you. Oh, it's a sad, sad story. It's a sad, sad story. It's a sad, sad story, knowing I never said goodbye.
So thank you so much for that live performance. You were really great, and it's great to hear your voice just live and in person.
Thank you.
So with that, are there any live performances that people should be looking out for?
My performances right now are pretty much at a standstill. I am still in school. I'm in college. So, I'm in the studio as well, too. So it's kind of like back and forth. And I'm trying to balance them both at the same time.
It sounds like you have your hands full. So how is that kind of balancing, trying to do your thing in music, but also keeping up with school? I know it must be a lot.
It is. It's very time consuming because if I'm not in school, then I'm in the studio. If I'm not in the studio, then I'm at school and I'm always studying. So it takes up a lot of your time, but you just have to have patience. And if it's something you're really passionate about, then it's all worth it in the end.
Right. So you mentioned, we should look out for an upcoming EP, maybe late this year, early to mid next. For people that want to follow your progress and see how you're doing on your album, where can we find you? Are you, we know you're on Xubi. Are you on Facebook, Twitter? Where can we find you?
Well, other than Xubi, I am on YouTube. If you type in Hannah Saldana, you'll find me. I do have a Tumblr. People can follow it. It's actually a blog site where I blog about my life, emotions. I do put up acoustic tracks on there. I post pictures. I do have a Twitter. You can follow me because I do update it daily. And I do have a Facebook. So it's more of kind of like if fans want to get in touch with me and, see another personal side to my life, then they can find me on Facebook too.
So everyone watching, make sure you follow Hannah Saldana. And remember, you saw her here first. So thank you so much, Hannah, for being with us here today.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So we're super excited about what you have upcoming, the new album you're working on, the performances that'll follow from there. And we hope that, when you have your next big project coming up, that you'll come back here and visit us again.
I will, definitely.
Well, that's our show for today, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it, and we want to thank Hannah Saldana again for joining us. I'm Irma, and we'll see you here next time at XubeeTV.